Christy, thank you very much. We're joined now by one of the legends on this Clemson football team. Back in 2016, you might remember Hunter Renfrow made a catch to win a national championship. He was on the team again this year. When you look back, you've had a little bit of time now, when you look back at your 5 years at this school, is it just way beyond anything that you could have ever imagined?
It is. I mean, it's something that you obviously dream about, but growing up a Clemson fan and being from the state of South Carolina, and just being in middle school, high school, just growing up, loving the school. It's cool to see the change in the culture and see the change in the program. And we weren't winning championships back then, so it's fun to see that too.
Tell me about this senior class. The winningest senior class in the history of college football. You're a big part of that. Obviously Christian and a lot of those guys are too. But what is it like to be a part of that group of young men?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's not just this senior class, it's the whole program. But for this senior class, I think we have 55 wins, but that doesn't happen without the younger guys on this team and the older guys that are here before us. There was a lot that went into it besides just this senior class, and that's what's special to me.
You remember this from 2 years ago. What do you take from the parade, seeing all the fans that maybe couldn't make it out to California, but they can make it out here, and just their love of what you guys have done for them, the joy that you guys have brought to them?
Just the thankfulness and appreciation we have. We have some of the best fans in the country. It doesn't matter if it's a parade like they're going to fill the stadium up. And it's just so special to be a part of just a town like Clemson, a school like Clemson, and a community like Clemson. It's pretty neat.
Last question. Tell me what's next for Hunter Renfrow. The people that have seen you in this community for so long, tell me what you do the next couple of months getting ready for the NFL draft and just where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, just training. I'll be around Clemson. I'm going to be training at TNT up in Anderson with Joe Don Reams. So just kind of getting that ready and really just getting ready for the draft. I'm getting married in April, so getting ready for that. I've kind of had a stillness the last 5 years, and everything's kind of going fast right now, but just enjoying it, taking it in stride, and having a lot of fun with it.
Hunter Renfrow, thank you very much. I appreciate it as always. He's getting married, and he's getting ready to go to the NFL. That's a pretty good to-do list right there. Let's send it back to the studio, back to the anchors, Amy and Fred. We are live now with Tremaine Ankrum. Tremaine, you've been a part of this team for a while. What does it mean when you come out here and you see the fans line up 3 and 4 deep just to get a look at you guys, just to say thanks for all that you've done?
Well, man, it's really a blessing because you think about it and you just see all the support we get, and that's where our strength really comes from. We're a program that's not anything special. We just show what regular people can do when we all come together with a single purpose and support from the community, and great things can happen.
You've had a little bit of time to think about it. How much has it meant to win a national championship 2 times, to do it twice? I mean, the first time it was maybe a little bit of a shock, but then to back it up with another one.
It just shows how far we've come, man. We've all been working for a single goal, and it's just to be the best we can be. And, in 2016 when we did it, people were a little shocked, but we weren't shocked. We know all the work we put in. We know how far we've come. And, to see it come together this year, the way it did, is a beautiful sight.
Outstanding. Tremaine, thank you very much. Let's send it back to Fred and Amy. Yeah, Fred, we're joined by a very large member of this national championship team, defensive lineman Albert Huggins. Albert, talk about how your role changed when the regular season ended and then the college football playoffs began, and how you responded to that challenge stepping in for Dexter Lawrence.
Man, just an opportunity came along, and I took advantage of my opportunity. I was so thankful for it, man, and I took advantage of it, and I felt like I did great.
Tell me about your ride. You came in here as a highly touted guy from the state of South Carolina, and maybe it took you a little while to get up to speed, but then where you are now compared to where you were when you got here as a freshman.
Oh, man, it was coming out of high school, man, I thought I was that guy, and, coming to Clemson, it humbled me a lot, and, I had faith, and I stuck with it, and, it paid off for me, and I'm just thankful I stuck here. I stayed here.
Tell me about this fan base, what this community, what a national championship means to them, what you've heard the last couple of years when you won it, what you've heard since you've won it this time, just how important football is to this community.
It's very important, man. We got great supporters. When we was coming back from California on the way here, people was at the airport. And then when we got here when we got to the facility, it was a whole group of fans out there supporting us. And the same thing from when we first won the national championship. when we first won the national championship, it was the same thing. It was a group of fans out there supporting us. The parking lot was packed. They couldn't even drive out of the parking lot. So we have great fans, and I'm glad they support us like they do, and go Tigers.
All right, Howard Huggins, thank you very much. There's a young man that took advantage of his opportunity on the big stage, and now he's getting ready to see what his pro prospects are as well. Let's send it back to Fred and Amy. Hey, we are joined now by starting middle linebacker Kendall Joseph, who's from the upstate. He's a Belton guy. What does it mean to this community when you look at these streets lined up? You're a part of this community. You were a kid cheering for the Tigers. What does it mean to do what you've done the last couple of years?
It's just great. It's a great honor, to be able to make these people proud and the fans proud. And, it's just like one of the best football little cities in America. And just to be able to, bring back a championship to Clemson is awesome.
Tell me about doing the parade 2 years ago. What do you remember from that?
I just remember kind of just being just smiling the whole day, like just kind of just taking it with the wind and being so excited to be a part of something like this because it's so historic. And we was able to make it happen twice now.
You've had a couple days now to let it soak in. When you look back at your career, how do you put into words what you've been able to accomplish? Is it more than you could have ever dreamed? A couple of national championships, 4 ACC titles. You're leaving this place way better than you found it.
Yeah, it's, only God could do it. I feel like I could have never dreamed of having such a great career, and I'll just remember the friendships I made, the relationships I made with people, my teammates, and this last 5 years for me is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Is that part of what makes this so special, is that the relationship you guys have, it's not a forced relationship. Mm-hmm. You guys genuinely like each other. How does that transition onto the field?
Oh, it's everything, because you got to have love for your teammates, love for your brothers, and these guys, it's so much deeper than football, and I think that's what makes us a great football team, and I think you see it when you watch us play football on TV. You just see it, a joy and excitement and just happiness for seeing your brothers excel.
Kendall Joseph, thank you very much as always. What a career this guy had. He's taken a couple of national championships and 4 ACC titles with him as he takes on the next step of getting ready for the NFL. Fred, this isn't just any player. This is the defensive MVP from the national championship game, Trayvon Mullen. Trayvon, tell me about why were you so calm and cool and prepared on the biggest stage of your life to have the game you did, an interception, a sack, and you just played a complete football game against Alabama?
Maybe because I prepared. I know what I wanted. I know what I want the end result to be. Prepared well with the team. I had a Zoom focus during that week. Coming from Notre Dame, I knew we had a short week, and I know we was playing a tough opponent. So I know I had to be locked in and be prepared as I can be.
What has it been like, the attention you've gotten the last couple days?
It's been awesome. I feel like I deserve it, but I'm going to continue to grind and get better and try to work.
Last question, what does this parade mean to you guys, the guys on the team, to see the people that couldn't go to California that came out here to support you?
It means a lot. It just shows the type of culture that we have, and we all love our fans. We preach that a lot. Coach Sweeney, he never forgets about the fans, so it means it's a big deal to us.
Awesome. Trayvon Mullen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. They are starting to line up the players and get them out there. I just saw Brent Venables go by on a float. The players aren't too far behind. Let's send it back to you, Fred and Amy. Okay, Joel, stand by. They're going to come in the line and we'll talk about what I see. Hey, Fred, we are now walking the parade route. You are looking at Kendall Joseph and Mitch Hyatt, and they are just having a blast. These fans are just giving them all kinds of love. Look at that smile on Kendall Joseph. He's worked really hard for this moment, and Cleveland Ferrell is certainly enjoying the moment as well. You can see him on top of this Jeep with Adam Choice, the senior running back. Look at his smile. Look at, he's dancing, he's having a good time, he's waving. There's so much energy with this parade and these fans. And you know what, Fred and Amy, these guys have earned this moment. This is their chance to celebrate and enjoy. Nobody sees how hard they work for them to be national champions, but they do see on this parade route how much fun they have as well. And Dabo Swinney talks all the time about the fun is in the winning. And these guys are having a lot of fun as well. Let's send it back to you guys. you want to come to me, I can. Look at the front of this float right here. You see Trevor Lawrence. He's waving to the crowd as we speak. That is your national championship game offensive MVP. And why do you have a feeling that maybe he's going to be in another parade someday? Maybe he's going to be in another parade for the Tigers. Maybe he's going to be in another parade wherever his NFL team is in a couple years. But when he went by, the fans were going crazy. And he'll be coming your way here shortly, Fred. Amy, back to you. Hey, Fred, you are looking at Dabo Swinney, his wife Kathleen, and his youngest son Clay, because the other two boys, Drew and Will, are with their respective freshman and sophomore classes on one of those floats. Dabo is absolutely soaking this up. He is absolutely loving this. You got to remember, back when he took this job, nobody believed this was possible, but Dabo had a vision that this was possible. He thought that this team, that this program was on the right track and that great things were ahead. He said 10 years ago, he said, we were about to have the best decade in Clemson football history. Nobody believed him. You look back at it now, it's been the best decade in Clemson football history. These guys are having a good time. Dabo right now is saying, what's up? You having fun? You earned this. This is awesome. This is fantastic.
Hey, it's cold, it's early, nobody cares. Look at this crowd.
It's not raining?
It's unbelievable. Not raining.
Let's do this again next year.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Dabo Swinney having some fun. He loves cameras too. I don't know if you knew that or not, Fred. He loves cameras too. Let's send it back to you guys. That's a good-looking family. You're missing two? Mike Reed, the defensive backs coach, he's there with his family, smiling, having a good time. Next up is the quarterbacks coach, Brandon Streeter. He's a big reason why you've seen Trevor Lawrence have the success that he has had. He's been a fantastic mentor for the quarterbacks on this Tigers football team. The offensive line coach, Robbie Caldwell. The reason these guys are so good at protecting Trevor Lawrence is because Robbie Caldwell's been doing this for a long, long time. We keep on coming down the line. We see tight ends coach, special teams coach, Danny Pearman. He's waving at the camera. We're moving a little bit closer. Now we see co-offensive coordinator Tony Elliott and his young family having a good time. They are all smiles as well. Here's Jeff Scott. Both these guys former players as well. He's with his young daughter and his family having a good time at the parade. Next up is Brent Venables and his family. Now his oldest son Jake is back on the float because he's a part of this football team, but the rest of his family is in this car as well. And finally, the last of the coaches is head coach Dabo Swinney. He is all smiles as well. Obviously, they're missing two of their family members, but that's because they're now part of the team as well. And if you look a little bit further back, you see Christian Wilkins with a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. He's throwing them to the crowd. You gotta think, Christian Wilkins is having the time of his life. He just took a bite of a donut and then threw it into the crowd. Maybe we'll see that donut on eBay or something later. Let's send it back to you, Fred and Amy. Yeah, Amy, just a moment ago, Christian Wilkins was tossing out Krispy Kreme donuts. Now he's again waving at the crowd, smiling, having a good time. Hunter Renfro is doing the same. If you go on to the next Jeep Renegade, you're going to see left tackle Mitch Hyatt and starting linebacker Kendall Joseph. They're having a good time, smiling and just soaking this moment in. And you look back at Cleveland Furrow. He announced earlier this week that he is going to indeed forego his final season of eligibility and enter the NFL draft. He will likely be a first-round pick, perhaps in the upper part of that first round. But you know what? He's helped this team win 2 national championships. He is ready to move on to his next challenge. And what a special young man he has been. If you remember, after they lost to Alabama a year ago, a lot of the players didn't really want to go face the media. He walked up to Sports Information Director Tim Beret and volunteered. He said, "Tim, I will do it. I will go speak to the media on behalf of my teammates, and I will face the music." We didn't play very well that night, but he was a stand-up kind of guy. And after the national championship win the other night, there he was, front and center, talking to myself and Fred Cunningham and others just about how wonderful it was, how wonderful it has been. He's ready for the next step as well. Let's send it back to you guys. Hey, Hunter Renfro's playing catch. Hunter Renfro's playing catch. Good job, my man. Hey, we are joined now with Kathleen Sweeney. What was that ride like, going through this fan base, feeling the love?
It was amazing. Dabo and I said this was even a better parade than 2 years ago. Just coming down the hill, it was amazing. The fans, everyone is so wonderful.
So many fans maybe weren't able to get out to California. It was a long ways away. How important is this parade for you guys to just say thank you?
That's what makes us feel so good, is that we can thank our fans who couldn't come to California. Thank you so much.
And the biggest fan of them all, Coach Sweeney, congratulations. Tell me what it's like to go through that crowd of people and feel the love.
It's surreal. I mean, you know, it's cold, it's early in the morning, but the Clemson family, they don't care. They just show up, and it's just packed. The route was awesome, too, coming down the hill here, looking at the stadium. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just, I'm so happy for our team that they get a chance to experience something like this. It's something they'll never forget.
You told us you had a vision of this many, many years ago. When your vision, did you have the parade as part of that?
Absolutely.
Or just the holding the trophy?
No, absolutely. We had the parade on the calendar.
For a year, he's had it planned.
We planned the parade before it ever happened. Just finally we're able to execute the plan.
Lastly, now that you've had 3 or 4 days to let this group soak in, this special group of young men, how special they've been, what they've done, the foundation they've laid, how do you put into words Christian, Hunter Renfro, Cleveland Farrell, Austin Bryant, that group of guys?
Yeah, they've changed Clemson forever. I mean, you know, 55 wins. I mean, they wanted to be the best ever, and they sought out. I mean, it was like, how many wins do we need? Well, you need 50. Well, they got 55. You know, it's just whatever. They went above and beyond in every area, academically and athletically. And so this senior group, collectively as a group, the depth of leadership was amazing. I mean, across the board, 26 guys got voted for captain. I'm just so proud of them, but they've changed Clemson forever and set the standard for all future teams.
Outstanding. Thank you, Coach Sweeney, very much. That man has helped change Clemson forever as well. Let's send it back to you guys. Yes, we do, Fred. We've got Tanner Muse. Tanner, talk about that game on Monday night. The way this defense played against a really good Alabama team. You were in the middle of the action all night long.
I think we played really good. We had we tightened up a lot of strings on the defense, especially on the back end. We knew it was a big opportunity for us with the receiving core they had, and just being able to go out there and play like we did is amazing.
Can you tell me the feeling of holding a team like that to 0 points over the final 44 minutes of football to make sure you left no doubt?
Yeah, I mean, they're a special team. Hats off to them, but we came out. We had a good plan. We dominated the plan, and the rest is history. This will go down as one of the best teams ever and the best defense ever. We were the #1 scoring defense in all the lands. I mean, it don't get no better than that.
Tell me about that parade you were just a part of, coming through that crowd, coming through those fans and sit in these stands and cheer for you, cheer for all that you do, all the hard work when no one's watching. You get to see what they do.
I mean, these fans are so special to us. I mean, just look at all these people out here. It's an amazing time in Clemson right now. Just seeing all these fans out here, we love them, and the best in the world.
Tanner Muse, thank you very much. Fred, let's send it back to you guys. You can take our shot. You can take our shot. Fred, we are joined now with starting center Justin Falcinelli. How do you explain what you just experienced?
It's amazing. I mean, this is the support we've had. Our fans are amazing, and just the fact that we get fill a stadium for a parade is incredible.
2 times in 3 years. How is this parade different than the last time, or was it just the same amount of love?
It's the same amount of love. I mean, it's fantastic. We have the best fans in the world.
When you guys work so hard, starting, Dabo said on Friday it started for next year. Obviously, you're not a part of that group. But when you guys work so hard when no one's watching, how good does it feel to come inside this stadium and see all these fans that appreciate what you've been able to put together?
It's amazing because it's a ton of work, and especially when you just got to reload like that, get started the next week after the national championship. But this is why we do it, and it's amazing to have this inspiration behind us.
Awesome. Justin Falcinelli, thank you very much. They are ushering them onto the stage as we speak. We're losing players, but that means they're getting ready to speak to all the fans here inside Death Valley, and that's going to be pretty cool to see as well. Fred, Amy, back to you.